अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Okay, so last time we saw the 4 types of devotees. Okay, any questions, clarifications on that or anything that we have done earlier, please shoot. So all clear? Remember, when you are talking about the 4 types, one may be a jignasu. You are up there in devotion, all of us. But that doesn't mean that when we want something, we won't pray to the Lord, okay? Or if you are in trouble, you won't pray to the Lord, okay? What is your predominant connect they are talking about? If you are praying only when you are in trouble, then you are an arthi. If you are praying only when in trouble plus when you want things, you are an artharthi. When you are in trouble, when you want things and you want to know the truth, you are a jignasu. Okay, that's how it goes. Yeah, there's nothing wrong in praying for what you want. Okay. That's why I had said Udaraha Sarve Vete, all that we saw. Okay. Now, going ahead. Okay. Going ahead. Yes, we completed the 18th verse last time. Okay. Then he goes ahead to say Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Saha Mahatma Sudurlabha. Bahunam Janmanam Ante. And the end of many lifetimes of effort. Jnanavan San Mam Prapadyante. Having gained knowledge, they gain me, he says. Having gained knowledge, they gain me. What is the knowledge? Vasudevaha Sarvamiti. I am everything. Vasudeva Ishvaraha, that is me, is everything. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Such a Mahatma is not easy to find, he says. Okay. Such a Mahatma is not easy to find. Correct? So does that mean that once having come to Vedanta, you will have to spend many lifetimes? No. How many lifetimes have you already spent? From beginningless time onwards. This lifetime you have a chance to be Jnanavantaha. Why? Pramana is available. Someone to explain it is also available. Ishvara's grace is there. Now all that is necessary is your grace on yourself. Yeah. To become Jnanavantaha. So if you come to Vedanta, good chance that this is your last life before moksha. Yeah. So many lifetimes we have passed in our growth. Okay. Lot of lifetimes we have struggled and grown. Maybe this lifetime also we have struggled to grow. All of us have had our own struggles. Yeah. All of us have had. Who hasn't had struggle to grow? There have always been certain dark areas, certain areas that came to the forefront only when something's happened. We all had that. And we are struggling and we are growing and fine. And we have a chance to know the truth. Good. This can be your last. Yeah. Okay, therefore, but he says, Durlabha. To find a Mahatma who can say I am everything is not easy to find. Okay, it's not easy to find, because at the most they will do is wear a uniform, but everyone who wears a uniform need not be a Mahatma. Okay, uniform meaning the saffron robes. Okay, it's only a uniform. Yeah, but everyone who wears saffron need not be a wise person. Yeah. And a wise person need not be wearing saffron also. Okay, both ways it is true. Both ways it is true. Yeah. So not easy to come across. That's all he means. Yeah. Now that statement, not easy to find, is not to say therefore I will not get it. It is meant to highlight the importance of your pursuit, of what you are after in life, not something small. Okay, not something small. Therefore, have the confidence and the self-esteem that you need to say, well, I can do it. If my teacher can do it, so can I. It's important. Why? Nobody is born with this knowledge. We are all born ignorant idiots only. Yeah. We all are born like that. Anyone born is born ignorant of the truth. Then you gained it in this lifetime. No? Yeah. So, if they can do it, so can you. Okay. That's how it goes. What happens to the other people? Remember, 4 types of bhaktas he said. What about the others who are not bhaktas? What do you think is a minimum requirement to be a bhakta? Can anyone tell me that? Let me make this class a bit interactive as far as possible. What is the minimum requirement to be a bhakta?
To have faith in God.
Huh?
Love for God.
Love for God, yes.
Faith in God.
Which presupposes what?
God is there.
Yeah, some understanding of what is God. Yes, God is there, meaning I have some understanding. That means, really speaking, the more refined my understanding of God is, the better bhakta I am. That's why there is an English expression, for example, saying God fearing. This is at the absolute lower end of the scale. Why? You believe that there is a God and you are very scared because your image of Him is of someone harsh and judgmental. Like the God of the Old Testament in the Bible or in Islam, etc. Not fearing. Yeah. And of course, we have our own varieties of it also. But so two things happen here. As you psychologically mature out, you can have a better understanding of God. Like as a baby, as a kid, 4-year, 5-year-old, you're very scared of your dad because he represents the disciplined figure, or maybe mom. It depends how the dynamics was in your home. But as you mature out, you establish better and better relationship. Hopefully. Okay. Because it's a human relationship, it depends on the other party as well. Similarly here. And conversely, the better understanding of Ishvara you have, the more psychological maturity you will have. So from fearing and reactive, you will become more proactive, etc. I don't think in this class I have done that 7 stages of understanding God. I have not done that in this class. Okay. So sometime I will do that. Preferably when we can meet live. Because it will take some understanding. I'll need a board and all. Of course, I can put a whiteboard here and do that. But let me see. I am not yet that technically skilled as to put up a whiteboard and draw on it and things like that. Okay. Yeah. Or maybe I can take in somebody's help and do that. Anyway, let us see. So, as your understanding of God becomes better and better, until you understand God is a cosmic order, Ishvara, then you are really a fully mature being, because you are not blaming, you are not this, you are doing nothing. You are seeing your prayers, etc., as part of karma, as responsible karma. Therefore, karma phala. You know you have to earn that grace. Therefore, there is a certain level of maturity there. Then the next step, of course, is to understand the Advaita, the non-duality between God and myself. Non-duality. So, what happens to the others? Those who do not recognize Ishvara, etc. Or it is all vague in some background it is. What happens to them? Kamaitaihi hrita jnanaha prapadyante anya devataha tam niyamam astaya prakritya niyata swaya. He says, Kamaihi taihi aprahata jnanaha. Their jnana sadhanam, the mind, apahritam, carried away. By what? Kamaihi. I mean, what else is your mind going to be carried away by? Tell me at the bottom line, what is it? Bottom line, what is it? I am a finite being, therefore I want to be infinite, I want to discover my fullness, therefore give me this, give me that. Or kya? What else is it? Okay. This and that, that and this. Therefore, kamaihi, apakrita jnanaha. Your mind is overtaken by that. You can't see a big picture of things. Nothing wrong in having a few desires. But can you see the big picture of the whole thing? No, that is the problem. Prapadyante anya devataha. Therefore, instead of going by what is right, what is said in the Veda, the Puranas, etc., they will go about trying to get their desires by seeking anya devataha. Go worship this jinn, you will get this. Worship this yakshi, worship this yaksha. All small things you will go into. Problematic areas where really speaking the price is very high. I know one good thing is most of you have been brought up in a secular upbringing, even though there may have been a lot of religion at home. Therefore, these things most of you have kept away from, which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. Yeah. Otherwise, if you go into some of these areas, it is very problematic. The price you have to pay also is very high. Yeah. Price you have to pay is very high. Though you think you are getting what you want. Okay. So he says you will go into those type of things. Or seeking wrong ways of fulfillment. In simple ways, in today's world, I can't say people don't go into it in today's world, because I've seen too many things. Okay, I've seen too many things. People do go into these things, and I don't want to go too much into those things. Okay, there are a lot of stuff like that. Okay, or going about in wrong ways of getting it, adharmic ways of getting it. Simple. Adharmic ways of getting it. In fact, if you have noticed, in some states in India, Tantra is banned. Tantric worship is banned. But do you know something? Who's the Tantri? The one who sets up the temple. The one who does the Kumbhabhishekam of a temple is a Tantri, the main person. Yeah. Therefore, Tantrika worship is one form of worship. But it got a bad name because of all this. And of course the social media, Hindi films, Limbu Hadi Firana business, the chicken and all that stuff you see. I am not saying such things don't exist, but not how they show it in the movies. Offering a chicken, etc. is part of the thing. Okay. Offering alcohol, but these are all considered as tamasic forms of worship. Therefore, meant to be avoided. Meant to be avoided. Okay, they are tamasic forms. Yeah. I think one or two of you has come with me and met a friend of mine who is a tantric. He was in Chembur before, and now he is in Cochin. He set up a huge Ayurvedic center and things like that. Family man with kids, everything. Yeah. 3 years back, I was there inaugurating his center. Yeah. Very powerful tantric. But if you look at him, he's just like any other household. Yeah. All this Limbu Hadi business you see only in Hindi films, okay? Nowhere else. That is not what a Tantrika is. But in the Tantrika worship, these type of things are there. Should be aware of it and don't go into those things. Okay? Don't go into those things. Then why does the Veda reveal all this? Because the source is Atharva Veda for all this. Why does the Veda reveal all that? Because there also means, the Veda's job is to reveal you means for getting things. Alaukika means of getting things. Non-worldly way of getting things. Therefore, it is there the Veda reveals. If you need not use everything that is revealed. It is there. It reveals it. It was meant to be used only in terms of war, against enemies and things like that. Okay. It is not meant to be used against common people and all that stuff. Like there is one temple in Kerala, even now I got hold of a video on it. A Devi temple in Kerala. Devi temple in Kerala. Where, can you guess what the prasada is? Chicken. The prasada is chicken. Why? Chicken is offered there. And if chicken is offered, what you offer to the Lord, you can also take. Yeah. What you offer to the Lord, you also take. I can give you the name of the, anyway, forget it. I have to search into the thing. Yeah. Because if it is offered, you can have it. Prasada. I mean, those who eat chicken, for them it is fine. I'm sure there are plenty in the class. Yeah. Mahadi Devi temple. Mahadi Devi temple, correct? In Kerala. That's it. This must have been one of the temples that escaped. Because my grandfather replaced many of these practices with alternate that is mentioned. Instead of offering chicken, offer a nimbu. Instead of offering blood, offer Gurudi. What is Gurudi? Gurudi looks like blood. It is actually a mixture of haldi and chunna. The chunna that you use in pan, yeah, it's a mixture of that. So these type of alternatives are available. Okay. So the thing is here is, I am taking off from Prabhadyante Anya Devataha. There was one question that came up: whom do the tantric worships? Well, if it is very beneficial tantric worship done properly, you will invoke Devi. This type of worship is called Shaktam. Okay, Shaktam. You will invoke Kali, Durga. So there are tantric mantras. Jala Jala Shulini Dushta Shatron Nigrahum Fat. It's a tantric mantra. Perfect. No problems. If you are troubled by enemies, etc., no problems. Not otherwise. Not directing it against somebody. No. Only to protect yourself. You will invoke Vishnu. Many of you have heard the Sudarshana mantra. Where do you think the Sudarshana mantra is? The tantric mantra. Many of the South Indians here have heard the Sudarshana mantra. Tantric. Then you will invoke Shiva, Aghora, Svura, Prasura, Kakora. All this is invoking Shiva. These are all fine, beautiful mantras. After all, Shiva is Ghora, Aghora, Tarebhyo Namaha. He is beyond Ghora and Aghora. So there is a sect called Aghoris. Very powerful tantrics. Haridwar, there is a huge setup. Haridwar, there is a huge setup of Aghoris. They came to pay respect to Puja Swamiji Samadhi. When he had a Samadhi on the 16th day, they came. Because they are recognized a wise person and a great Mahatma. And they came to pay respects. And I welcomed them in to say, yes, you have come to honor a wise person, we will honor you. Very nice people. Very nice people. The people are generally scared of them. What is there to be scared? What is there to be scared? Then there are also deities invoked, which are what he says Anya Devataha. Those who are from South India. There was a movie also made about it. Have you heard something called Kuttichatan? Yes, Vishnu Maya in other words. The temple where I was offered as a dasa, by the side there is a shrine to Kuttichatan. And he had promised my grandfather that he will not harm any one of us. Because my grandfather was a great tantric. Yeah, Kerala, there are plenty of places like that, true. So what I am trying to say is, these type of things you avoid. Why? The result is fast, but generally the payment is very high. I just did a simple puja, no big payment. Wait. Wait. The payment becomes very, very high. Yeah. Therefore, don't get into all these things, okay? Tam niyamam astaya. Now, any type of devata will have some niyama. What you are supposed to do, how you are supposed to worship, etc. Any will have. They will all have. Okay? Then prakritya niyata swaya. And how will you pick up all these worship? Your prakriti. Most of us will not want to do it. Why? Our prakriti is more sattvic than that. But some of us can be fascinated by that. That's your shadow side coming up. These Anya Devatas are really speaking an indication of your shadow side. That is another workshop I have to do with this group about your shadow side. Okay. Don't worry, there is time. They are still only in the 7th chapter. Yeah. They all represent the shadow side. So you worship the light, you acknowledge the shadow. Ah. Okay, this can you all see me or you all can't see me? Okay, can you all hear me again? Can you all hear me? Yeah, because this was giving a bit of a problem. I had to switch over. Okay, switch over to my phone connection. Okay, but a couple of people got knocked off. Okay, I'm joining them also. Yeah. So now he says, following all those niyamas, etc. All right. They worship it. Okay. Depending upon what you feel inside. Then what happens because of that worship? Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhaya architam ichchati tasya tasya achalam shraddha tameva vididamyaham. He says, whichever deity you invoke me, after all, remember it is Ishvara that is being invoked. Don't forget that. It may be different deities, but really speaking, it is Ishvara only. Okay. Shraddhaya architam ichchati. With Shraddha you desire to worship. Tasya tasya achalam Shraddha. I will strengthen their Shraddha, he says. Tameva vididadmyaham. See, it's always like this. You know, when it comes to the question of Shraddha, how does Shraddha grow? It's very, very peculiar, you know. The modern thinking is, when I feel like it, I will do it. I will worship when my bhakti becomes strong enough to make me worship. But traditional thinking is ulta. By doing it, you will develop your Shraddha. It's always like that. You met somebody, let us say at a conference, a meeting, or a party or something, you met someone. A nice person. You also think he's a nice person, he also thinks you're a nice person. Just that much. So another friend says, hey, he'll make a good friend for you, yaar. When I feel friendly, I will connect up with him. When will that happen? Never. Because both of you are busy with your own lives. But you start connecting up after the conference. Hey, okay, shall we have a coffee together? Okay. You exchange emails. You exchange phone numbers. And in a short time you have become friends. Isn't that how friendships develop? Unless you have gone through the conference only for networking. Okay. And that's a difference. Then you'll keep them only as professional relationships. But sometimes because of so much of interaction, a professional relationship becomes friendly also. Why? Because there is interaction constant. Same way with bhakti. If you are waiting for bhakti to grow before you do that action, never happen. Start doing it, you will find bhakti coming up. Why? Because association of that action with bhakti is there. I have some understanding of Ishvara. Both together, bhakti, emotional response will come up. What is bhakti after all but an emotional response to an understanding? Sometimes you have to evoke that response out of you. Like a couple who has had arranged marriage, you have to evoke that response of love, etc. in an arranged marriage. Yeah. You met a couple of times and then you got married. Then you have to do things that people do when they are in love. No? Get some flowers for her, take her out for a movie, do things like that. In time you find the love develops. In time the love develops. It doesn't happen overnight. Yeah. So same way here with bhakti as well. Therefore tasyam aschalam shraddha tam eva vididadmyaham. Okay, so my question has come up, Parama Prema Swarupa. That Parama Prema we will keep aside for the time being. He is not talking about Parama Prema, he is talking about relative Prema. Sadhana Bhakti is talking about. Okay? Then what happens? Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktaha Tasya Aradhanamihate Labate sa tatah kaman Yehi Vihitani Hatan. Then Satasya Shraddhaya Yuktaha, with Shraddha in that deity. This may be some small deity here and there. Tasya Aradhanamihate. He starts worshipping that deity. Labate sa tatah kaman. Then, because you have done the worship, it's an action. Karma phala should be there. Therefore, tasya eva vihitan tan. Kaman mayeva vihitan. According to my order. According to my order meaning Ishvara's order. The karma phala comes, you get the object of desire. You get the object of desire. This is how certain temples become popular. No? Go here, this is your desire will be fulfilled. Because someone's desire was fulfilled. He told half a dozen people started going it. Another 2-3 people's desire got fulfilled. They told a few more and it grows. This is how it happens. All temples have grown like this only. Okay. Then he goes, then what is the problem in all this? There is no problem. He will show you what is the limitation of it. Antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpamedasam devan devayajno yanti madbhakta yantamamapi. Antavantu phalam tesham. What are you praying for? Something small. My relative is troubling me on my inheritance. Let me let that inheritance come to me. Kutti Chatan is very famous for this. Yeah, I will give you the result, no doubt about it. But antavantaha. And you worship in this manner, what happens? Alpamedasam. What are you asking for? It is like, I was in Varanasi once. When the owner of Birla's, Mohan Babu, he called the local businessman in Banaras and said, see, I have this huge setup at Renikut, that's just off Banaras, 3 hours from Banaras. What do the business people in Banaras expect from me? Good question. Because I'm talking of more than 20 years ago, okay? Yeah, more 25 years ago. That time, that Hindalco profit was something like 900 crores after tax, 900 crores after tax. 25 years ago, that was big money. Even today, it's big money. But 25 years ago, it was really big money. So, what do you want? And you know what those idiots asked him? Sir, we need an electric crematorium here. Can you give us some funds to put up an electric crematorium? Mohan Babu was disappointed. He said, I can put up an industry for them. They are asking for a small electric crematorium which they can raise the funds and put it. I thought they will want some infrastructure development, something like that, costing 500 crores, 1000 crores. I would have given it to them. They are asking something that will cost 20 lakhs. Same way, Alpa Medasam. You can go to Ishvara, you can ask for the moon. What are you asking for? Lord, give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that. You are becoming a beggar. And you will sing also. Bikari sari duniya data ek ram. वो भी गाएगा भी. So that is what he is saying here, okay? Devan devajño yantihi. Then after death, etc., where do these people go? To those devas that you have worshipped. Mad bhakta mamyati. Whereas my bhakta comes to me, meaning what? Mad bhakta comes to me, meaning you can gain moksha itself. The understanding of non-duality, that Ishvara Oham Niti, you can gain the knowledge. I am Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Up to there you can go. And what are you asking for? Chota mota. Nothing wrong in asking for chota mota from Ishvara. But don't limit yourself to that. In your life, sometimes you need small things. I accept that. In your functioning life, sometimes you need a small thing. Small things can become big things. Like oxygen is available free. But today it is a big thing. Every hospital is looking for it. People are going on TV. Chief ministers of states are going on TV to ask the center for oxygen. Where is the center going to bring it from? Be like Yogi. He set up 2 oxygen plants. When he found the cases rising, he set up 2 plants, oxygen plants. When he was quarantined actually. He interacted on Zoom and phone and all with his officers and set up 2 plants. Agreed. UP is also having shortage. But at least he did something. So a small thing you may want in life. If you are having corona and you need oxygen, pray for it. Nothing wrong in that. But don't limit yourself only to that. Don't limit yourself only to that. Yeah. Go all the way to knowing the truth. That's what he is saying. Okay. Mad bhakta yanti mamapi. He comes to me only. So seek for that. Okay. All right. Then there are a couple of more simple verses we can see. Avyaktam vyaktimapannaha manyante mam abuddhayaha param bhavam ajanantaha mam avyayam anutam mamam. Anutam. Okay. Avyaktam vyaktimapannaha. I was unmanifest before and now I am manifest as Krishna. Gopi Priyaha, Gopi Jana Priyaha, Radha Lolaha. Manifesting. How? Why do they think like that? Manyante mam abuddhayaha manyante. Those who don't have enough viveka. Why? Param bhavam ajanantaha. Not knowing my absolute nature as Satyam Jnanam Anantam, as Jagat Karanam Brahman, not knowing that, they worship me like this. They think of me like this. He says, Mam Avyayam Anuttamam. Me who's incomparable. What can be comparable to Satyam Jnanam Anantam? There is nothing other than Satyam Jnanam Anantam anyway. So what comparison can you have? Anuttamam, that which cannot be bettered. Therefore you have a choice. Do you want to get stuck in your small things? Or do you want to move on to higher things? It's simple, na? I mean, is it really a choice? It's a Hobson's choice. Yeah, small things, you can do it on the way, come on. We know you need small things in your life. Project completion, a good job. All these are part of the game. You need that in life. All right, fine. But are you going to get stuck only with that much? No, Swamiji, I am going to think big. I am going to be the CEO of the company. Good. Think big. Can you think bigger? Can you think bigger? Understand that Ishvara is not different from you? Why not? Why not? What is preventing you from seeking it? I don't know whether I'll be able to gain it. Well, others have. Why can't you? Swamiji, they are all great people. They became great because they knew the truth. Before that, they weren't. Before that, they were ordinary people. Before that, they were ignorant people. The ignorant person seeks knowledge. Why should the knowledgeable seek knowledge? I don't know whether you have seen this movie, The Chronicles of Riddick. You know, lockdown time, na, sometimes even I do this channel surfing, and if I see something interesting, I'll see it. So there is an all-conquering army. So he's conquered his country, and then he's saying, before they've joined my army, all of them fought as ineffectively as you. They were as foolish as in your defense of this country as you were. So better join me and learn how to fight properly. So same way here. Before they knew the truth, they were all ineffectual. They were all avivekis. Then somewhere they ran across some wise person. By God's grace, they came across a wise person. And they decided, hey, it's worth a try. It's worth a try. And if it is worth a try, it's worth your best shot. Worth your best shot. Yeah, so give it your best shot. Okay. Otherwise, you will think Krishna was merely a historical figure. What Krishna you are talking about? He used to play with all the girls. What Krishna are you talking about? He had so many wives. And only Gujaratis can give him one name. Ranchod. One who left the battlefield. It was a tactical retreat. But they named him as someone who left the battlefield and ran away. It's only Guju thinking that can do that. Ranchod. And they'll call themselves Ranchod Das. You limit your understanding of Krishna to only this. Nothing wrong in looking at Krishna as a historical figure. It's true. He was a historical figure. Underwater excavations have discovered the city of Dwaraka. Huge city, 20 miles off the coast, which fits into a description that Dwaraka was swallowed up by the sea after Krishna's time. Dwaraka was a gift by Varuna to Krishna with the condition that after your time I will take it back. So it happened. Yeah. And the funny thing was, the Pandas will always take people out in a boat from Dwaraka, the modern Dwarkadish temple. They'll take you out in a boat and say, offer flowers here. This is where the old Dwarkadish temple was. And people with bhakti would offer it there. So one character decided, why not do underwater excavations and see what is there? And they found this whole city. So Krishna is a historical figure. But it's important to go beyond the historical figure and see the reality behind that. Just like all of us are historical figures, no? Not that we have left our imprint on the shifting sands of time. But we are all historical figures. We have a history. We have a horoscope, a date of birth, and certain events mapped in our life which are known to a few people at least. That much is there. We are all historical. But it's important to go beyond my historicity and see what I really am as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Otherwise, you understand very little of Krishna. That little is huge, I accept. He strode across the subcontinent, making kings, knocking off kings, everything he did. Yeah. Never a king, but always a kingmaker. You respectfully called him Dwarkadisha, but he was never the king of Dwarka. His cousin was the king. He didn't have claims to the throne. That's why he couldn't be invited for Rukmini Swayamvara. Yeah. So, all that. Anyway, that's the story part. I don't want to go into that now. Okay. Then he says, then if Krishna, you really are Ishvara, at least in your generation, why don't people recognize it? Utna to hone cha. Some people did, some didn't. All right. Look at what Krishna has to say for that. Naham prakashaha sarvasya yogamaya samavritaha mudhoyam na abhijananti loko mamajam avyayam. Naham prakashaha sarvasya. I am not seen by everybody, he says. But I am meaning the truth of what I really am, not seen by everybody. Yoga Maya Samavritaha. Why? There is a shield of Yoga Maya around. He says, no? Maya covers their perception, doesn't cover me. I am Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. I can't be covered by Maya. But their perception is covered by Maya. Okay. Therefore, Mudaha San, they become deluded. They become deluded by Maya. They take me as one of the guys. Mudoyam na abhijananti. They don't know. Mudoyam lokaha. I am lokaha. All these deluded people will not know me. What? Mam ajam avyayam. My unborn, non-declining nature. My nature as free from time and space, they will not know. Therefore, to know what you need to do, you need to uncover your Maya from your eyes. Yeah, from your mind, you need to remove that Maya. That will happen only with knowledge, for which you need a pramana, and the pramana has come from Krishna himself. The pramana to know Krishna has come from Krishna himself. The pramana to know Ishvara has to come from Ishvara himself. Nobody else can give it. Teachers only explain. Having seen it, they'll explain. But the pramana always has to be from Ishvara. Pramana cannot be from anyone else. All religions recognize this much. If there is Ishvara, if there is God, you will never know anything about Ishvara unless he chooses to reveal some things about himself. There is no other way. You can make some vague inferences which are not really speaking logically valid. You can't infer Ishvara. How do you infer Ishvara? First you have to prove that this is a creation. You can't prove that. Logically you cannot prove it. You can prove this book is a creation. Why? You know at time it is not there, prakabhava. You know at time it will not be there, pradvamsa bhava. Prior non-existence, later non-existence. Can you say that of this whole cosmos? How many cosmoses have you seen? You have not seen the creation of this book. But some book you have seen being put together. Therefore you can extend that logic to this. So how many creations have you seen? How many cosmoses have you seen? To say this cosmos is like that cosmos, it is created. Therefore your fundamental premise that this is a creation itself is wrong. Cannot be proved. Then how can you infer Ishvara? When your data is not established, how do you conclude anything from your data? Therefore, if there is an Ishvara, Ishvara himself has to reveal it. Am I making sense to you all? Okay. And therefore, and Ishvara has revealed. Not only in the Gita, the Veda, the Upanishad, everything. All those books are revealing what Ishvara is. As non-different from you, and that is meant to be recognized. Only then you will get the fulfillment that you seek. In between, somebody has asked a question, how do you pray? Let your life itself be a prayer. No? Best way of praying. Karma Yoga. Ishwararpanam prasada buddhi. Your whole life, 24/7. The life is a prayer. Every action offered to the Lord, every result taken as prasada. Some of you will accept everything as prasada. Yes. If the chicken is given to you, I'll accept it. And give it to someone who enjoys it. There was a time when I used to enjoy it. No more. No more. So there is where the whole thing is. So make your life. And to develop that bhakti within you, that is important. Do a few actions that you can relate to, which in your mind is associated with bhakti. In your mind, that's important. Anything in your mind that is associated with bhakti. It can be a prayer, it can be a puja, it can be seva, it can be anything. It can be singing. Why? Singing the glories of the Lord. Beautiful. Going to Bhava Samadhi. There are a couple of people here who are very much into music. So go on. Whatever evokes that feeling out of you. Whatever evokes that feeling. It will be different for each person. There will be some things common, some things different. Do japa. Japa dhyanam. Great. One of the most powerful things, japa dhyanam. So, prayer can be in various ways. Or those who are into chanting, etc., do that. But with that bhava. When you are learning singing, you will look for technical perfection. you will train for technical perfection. That will make you a good singer. If you want to be a great singer, along with the technical perfection, you need to put the bhava into it. Only if you have the bhava will the audience have the rasa. So, whatever you are doing, act of worship, act of seva, whatever, let it come with the bhava. Invoke the bhava out of yourself. That's why pick up a field of worship where the bhava is easier for you, keeping with your personality. There is nothing better, good or bad or ugly or better or not. What works for you. So, all clear, or are there any questions? Okay, this is simple. The verses were pretty simple this time. Okay. Oh, I think next class we will complete the 7th chapter. There is few verses left. Okay. So good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.